As the Ultramarines take up their positions in the trenches, they see mobs of orcs preparing to assault them. They must stand their ground and repel the green infestation. They must contain the rampage of the horde. Only then do they stand a chance to kill them all and seek out the war boss, so they can stop this Warg from consuming this planet. So now we're on for turns 7 and 8, the final turns of this scenario. The Space Marines are almost all in position. There's still this pesky battle wagon, but it's almost harmless. And this Renturret that keeps bugging them. These Space Marines still have to take up positions, and these should make a little more room for them, because there's too much Space Marines on this side and too little there. On the other hand, we have a whole lot of orcs coming our way. We have sluggers with a rocket launcher hiding in the rocks. We have these shooter units hiding in a ruined building. We have a truck filled with nobs with special weapons and Gretchin here too. And then we have Storm Boys, 5 units of Storm Boys. This is all coming my way. So let's keep it simple. This is Unit 1, Unit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've put 7 tokens for the orcs, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 units for the Space Marines, and they have reinforcements. Maybe the Storm Talon gunship is going to help them, but I will have to roll for reserves to get them on the table. So let's start up. First unit is an orc unit, and it's this truck with knobs and Gretchin. So what's the maximum move of these? It's 6 move and shoot, and meanwhile the knobs and Gretchin are going to disembark. The orcs and knobs disembark and stay behind the truck on the side, so they are not in line of fire of all these Space Marines. And the truck is going to shoot straight ahead to the Vanguard squad. So there's a -2 modifier, and he only rolls 2, so he's not going to hit the Space Marine Vanguard squad. Next up is Unit 7 of the Orcs, which are these sluggers. They're gonna advance their full movement, and next turn they're either gonna assault or shoot before they attack the Space Marines. Next up is Unit 6 of the Orcs, and these are the shooters who are hiding in this building. They're gonna be clever, they're just gonna stay in the cover of the building and shoot maximum to the Space Marines, and Big Shooter is also going to suppress one of the units, so that's good for the Orcs. The Big Shooter shoots at the plasma gun unit in front of them, because they cannot target Sergeant Vorlanus, but he rules really orcish. It's double 1. The shooters next to them also target the plasma gun, and they roll higher, so it's 5 plus 1. That's not high enough. The orcs have to roll a 6 in order to hit the Space Marines. The next unit misses 2. This unit misses 2, and the unit behind the building has a -2 for shooting through the building, so there's no chance in hell he's gonna hit the Space Marines. Space Marine reinforcements, and they roll high enough, so the Storm Talon gunship is going to arrive on the battlefield. Storm Talon gunship makes a strafing run on this truck and it's smack on. So it's high enough and the truck is destroyed. The Nobs and Gretchen disembark and roll for damage, but it's not high enough, so they come unharmed out of the damaged truck. Next up is Brother Venasio. I'll have him advance to the trench, and so he can heal up Sergeant Adelus next turn. So now he's right next to him. And I'm going to advance the Rhino so they can shoot over the trenches. He advances 3 hexes and shoots over the trenches to the Nobs, but he's got a -1 modifier for move and shoot, and also -2 modifier from the trenches. He only rolls a 3, thus with all modifiers is not high enough to hit the Nobs. As the battle wagon is blocking the breach in the wall, I'll have the attack bike move as fast as possible all the way through this hole in the wall, and then he can attack this unit of Oaks. He's over here. It's gonna take 1 or 2 more turns before he's in position. Next up is the Blitzabomber. It's going to do a strafing run on the Ultramarines. There's this juicy target in the middle of the table and in the open, so he's going for that one. It's smack on, so now we're going to roll for damage. First the Rhino, but it's not high enough. Then the attack bike, but it's not high enough too. Then the Vanguard squad, now they have to roll for armor save. Luckily for them, their armor saves them again. Next up is Unit 3 of the Orcs, which are the Storm Boys over here. I'm gonna have them advance the maximum move possible to close in on the trench. So they're almost at the trench already, and by the end of turn 8 there has to be not 1 single Orc unit on the trench, otherwise the Space Marines lose the scenario. Next up is the Runtard, Unit 1. He's all alone in the rock, but he's going to continue to pester the tactical squad. He rolls very high, but the tactical squad makes their armor save. Next up is Brother Malcian. They advance as much as possible so they can take up the positions in the trench. They advance maximum, so they're in a good position now, and Brother Malcian moved only 2 squares so he can shoot, rolls very high, and shoots at the first unit of the Storm Boys. 6 + 2 is 8, which is great because he managed to completely wipe out the first unit of Storm Boys. Next up is Unit 4 of Space Marines, which are the Vanguard Veteran Squad, which are over here, so I'm gonna have them advance, and the ones that are in the trenches will shoot. Brother Adelus stands still and shoots at the Nobs, which are partly hidden behind the truck, so get a +1 cover save, but still he managed to roll 6 + 2 is 8, which is not double for the Nobs. They are wounded. The unit next to him shoots horribly bad, and this unit moved, so they cannot shoot. They moved 3. Now it's squad for Orlandus who is going to get to move and shoot. They're over here, so they're going to concentrate their fire on the Sluggas. The Heavy Bolter rolls high and manages to obliterate the Slugga unit in front of them. The Plasma Gun rolls high too and manages to obliterate the Rocket Launcher unit. Sergeant Vorlans shoots, but not enough to completely obliterate it, but this unit of Sluggas is depleted. Last unit to activate this turn is the destroyed truck, and the Nobs and Gretchen are gonna move as much forward as possible, and if they survive they can assault these Space Marines next turn. So like this. So now it's turn 8, last turn. By the end of this turn there should be no orcs on the trenches. And the first unit to activate is the Storm Talon gunship. I'm having it shoot at the truck. The one truck that's not destroyed yet, but he does not shoot high enough. Next up is the Blitzer Bomber. He's gonna try to make a breach in the trench, so these units can more easily attack and take in the trench. Once again it's smack on, so I'm gonna roll for damage now. Rhino gets hit, so now I'm gonna roll for where damage happens. I'm rolling a 4 on the green track, so that means 2 suppressed markers on the Rhino. As the attack is coming from above, they do not have any cover save from the trench. A Blitzer Bomber rolls high and they fail their armor save. Same happens to the unit next to it. They also fail their armor save. Next is Unit 5 of the Orcs, which is this truck and the Gretchin and Nobs attached to it. The Nob manages to climb into the trench and attack the squad from the side, its flank, and the Gretchin are just gonna be supportive, gonna attack from front, but this will give the Nob a +1 modifier. As foreseen, the Gretchin lose the combat and they take a wound. But now it's the Nob who's going to put the hurt on the Space Marines. Luckily the Vanguard squad rolls high and beats the Nob, who is completely destroyed now. Next up is Brother Venasio, who's going to try to heal up Brother Adelis. It's a success, so Brother Sergeant Adelis is back to full strength. The Rhino takes off 1 suppressed marker, and the attack bike is advancing at full speed to this breach. Like this. Attack bike cannot shoot because it's moved full speed. This unit moves up 1 space, so it's gonna be able to shoot, it wouldn't die. These are gonna stand still and shoot, and the Sergeant Dalis is gonna move 2 spaces and shoot. This unit shoots at the Nobs, rolls very high, and manages to wound the Nobs. Sergeant Adelis kills off the Gretchin mob in front of him, and the last Vanguard squad does not roll high enough to wound the Nob unit. Next up is the 2 remaining units of the Slugger unit. We're going to do an assault move. This Slugger unit manages to destroy the attack bike. The other Slugger unit is not rolling high enough and gets destroyed. Next is Squad Varolanos. They absolutely have to repel this orc, otherwise they're gonna lose the scenario. The Heavy Bolter is gonna stand still and shoot. Plasma Gun is gonna move and shoot, and Sergeant Varolanos is going to assault them. The Heavy Bolter does the job and completely annihilates the units of sluggers. Next up is the Lonely Runtard over here. He's going to advance in the building and try to pesker the tactical squad again. He moves 2 forward and tries to shoot the Vanguard squad in the back, but is not rolling high enough. Next up is the Slugger unit here. Since the brothers are a bit of depleted, they're gonna move forward. But it's gonna be too little too late, because by the end of this turn they will never be able to reach the wall. Next up is Unit 4 of the Oaks, which is the Nob and the Gretchen. The Nob does not roll high enough because the difference with the wall adjustment makes that the Vanguard squad is winning, so the Nob gets destroyed and the Gretchen, they just run off. Next up is Brother Malcian. Brother Malcian makes a full move so that the Orcs cannot come into the wall, and the last cannon and tactical squad to stand still and shoot. The tactical squad obliterates the storm boys right in front of him, and the last cannon wounds the other one. Last unit to activate are the storm boys, so they're going to make an assault. They're going for Brother Malcian, so this might hurt. First unit loses a combat, is repelled and wounded. Second squad rolls with a modifier the same score as Brother Malcian. And the third squad rolls also equal to Brother Malcian with the modifier. Okay, at the end of the day, these Space Marines unfortunately do not manage to clear the trench from the Orcs, because the Orcs have 2 units in the side of trenches, so the Space Marines do not achieve their objective. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this. I have some comments below, and see you in the next video. Bye.